Game 2 of the 3-game road swing for the Toronto Raptors and Game 1 of the back-to-back for our Raptors. Don't matter. They win number 7 in a row tonight in Oklahoma City, as they should have. And with the win, not only have the Raptors won 7 straight games, they're 30-23 on the season, and they continue to full-on roll. They did not play down to their opponent. They laid a beat down when they had to. Every time OKC came back with a little run of their own, Raptors answered and countered. Was it the Raptors' perfect game? No. The first half wasn't the greatest. First quarter was pretty damn good. Second quarter, they really sluggish along. And at some points in the early goings of the third, they were really sluggish. But they made that big punch when they needed to in the latter half of the third quarter and in the fourth to close this game out. And you got to give it to the man. I mean, he was real spicy in this game, more specifically in the first quarter. But Pascal Siakam, holy, he was cooking up something real good in this game because he had another double-double, 27 and 16 for Pascal in the game. But we'll get into the player stats in a bit. Let's start this game off the first quarter. Raptors win at 34-22. At one point, they were up by, 16, I believe, in the first quarter. Pascal had 15, got in a little bit of foul trouble early, so he had to sit out, unfortunately. But either way, at 15 in the first, missed one shot. The guy was on fire. After one quarter play, and the Raptors are up by 12. Their offense flows. They scored 34. The defense was sound. They allowed 22. And, hey, we're feeling good. Now, second quarter, the offense starts to struggle a bit. They start to find their stroke a little bit offensively, and they go on a couple runs here and there. And they were actually +4 in the quarter. However, a big-time three from Gary Trent Jr. at the end of, the end of the first half, to make it an 8-point game. At one point, it was a 5-point game. He hits the back end of the shot clock 3 to give the Raptors an 8-point advantage at halftime. So it could have looked a lot worse than 29-25 in the second, but with the Gary Trent 3, Raptors up by 8 heading into halftime. They got to regroup. They got to get back to themselves defensively. You know, you look at the team stats, they were very even throughout the entire game, but if you look at the first half numbers, the offensive boards, Raptors were getting crushed. I think they allowed 7 offensive boards in the first quarter alone, which was not good. That obviously got cleaned up as the game went along, which was great. And the Raptors were turning the ball over a lot. At halftime, they turned the ball over 10 times. That is not Raptors-esque. But in the second half, cleaned that up. They go out there in the third quarter. And, it's pretty wild how this team works, right? What we've witnessed from this squad, especially over the 7-game win streak, is when they go into halftime not playing well in certain aspects, expect them to come out in the second half and focus on those. Because if you look at the first half, they were turning the ball over, they were giving up a lot of offensive rebounds, and it was not very pretty to watch. And the defensive intensity, wasn't quite there at times. But in that third quarter, what happens? The ball stops turning over. You clean up the glass a ton. You only allowed 21 in the quarter. You scored 28. You're +7, and you're up by 15. Right? Yeah, 15 heading into the fourth. You're in a great spot. You should have closed this game out strong, and the Raptors did just that. Every time they got a little 4-0 run, 6-0 run, Raptors countered. They ended up getting it, I believe it was to a 21-point lead at some point in the fourth quarter, and that pretty much iced it. What really iced it was the Scotty Barnes 3-point shot that he made out the beautiful. I think it was a drive from Pascal, kicks it to the corner for Fred, the extra pass to Scotty, and he drills it. They call the timeout, and not long after that, Raptors get out their starters and call it a day. They win the fourth quarter 30-26, and they win the game 117-98. They did an incredible job in that second half, only allowing 47 points in that second half and scoring 58. It was a remarkable second half for the Toronto Raptors. And you know what? Against a team that you really should have done this to. You won by 19, and you really should have. And at halftime, there wasn't worrisome question marks, but it was more like, hey, look, we're the much better team. Let's show it. And they go out there in the second half and win by double digits in the second half, as they should have. Right? Now, let's get to the player stats. Pascal Siakam, as I mentioned, remarkable. Player of the game in this one, no doubt. 27 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists in the game, 13 of 17 shooting. Didn't even go to the free throw line once. Was 1 of 3 from three-point range. Was one steal and 1 denial in the game. Like, what a night for Pascal. I think I can speak for most Raptor fans right now. Every time this guy is taking a shot, whether it's a 2 or heck, even if it's a 3, the confidence is there, and you feel like it's going in every time. Every time he gets into the paint, he takes a semi-tough, fading shot. I'm like, that's money, and he's knocking it down. Is this going to be the Pascal Siakam we know and love for the long future? We don't know. But what we do know is that this guy is playing at the highest level of confidence you possibly can against some of the greatest teams in the NBA. Now, OKC obviously not in that group, but he's going out there and cooking them, as he should. They had nobody who could guard him tonight. So what is he doing? Going in attack mode. Absolutely phenomenal game from Pascal in this one. Fred VanVleet struggled in the first quarter shooting. Oh, but did he pick it up or what? 21 points, didn't get a rebound, had 6 dimes in the game, shot 7 of 17, was 1 of 1 from the line, 6 of 14 from three-point range, and 2 steals in the game. Look, you can see how the Raptors, for the most part, dominated this game. Pascal and Fred did not get to the free throw. Fred got to the free throw line 1 time. Pascal did not get to the line at all, and you won by 19. Pretty impressive stuff there. Gary Trent Jr., there were times where the shot wasn't falling, but as I've said countless times in videos, no matter what this guy shoots, he could be shooting 1 for 11. But I think we can all agree the confidence in him, and really as most of us Raptor fans, is that 12th shot. That could be money. And then he can go on like take 5 shots in a row of just knocking down shots. Gary Trent Jr., the confidence never wavers. 16 points, 1 board, couple times. Shot 5 of 12 from the field today. 4 of 4 from the line. Was 2 of 5 from three-point range. And the guy had 5 steals in the game. Not only is he making threes, giving you double figures, perfect from the line, gives you 5 steals. Great job from Gary Trent Jr. in this one. He was phenomenal. OG Anunoby, a double-double for OG. 15 points, 10 boards, couple dimes, with 6 of 12 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3. Just going out there and putting in work for the young OG. 50% from the field, just under 50%, over 40% from 3. You get a double-double. You score, I'll take that any day from OG. So a great job overall from him. And Scotty Barnes, 17 points, couple boards, 4 dimes, shot 5 and 9 from the field, was 6 of 6 from the line, and 1 of 1 from three-point range. Again, another night where I look at Scotty's line and I'm like, hey, that's a nice one. And he capped it off nicely, draining at 3. I think he drained a couple shots down the stretch there to end off his night. Look at that, over 50% from the field, perfect from the line, perfect from 3. Yes, it was only 1, but he made his shot count, and it was that one late in the game, the dagger to ice it. So a great job from Scotty. I think that honestly made it 21, so the dagger might have been a little bit earlier, but they called the timeout right after, and you feel great after that. The bench, Precious Achiuwa and Chris Boucher, they're putting in the work. Look, stat sheet-wise, yeah, it may not be the prettiest, but if you're watching the game and you know the impact these guys are making. 9 points, 5 boards, on 3 of 7 shooting from Boucher, was 3 of 3 from the free throw line. He's just making an impact and giving you energy. Precious Achiuwa, 4 points, 7 boards, and 1 dime, shot 2 of 7 from the field. Well, for Precious, I look at him, this is my thought on Precious. You watch him tonight, and there was one play in the fourth quarter where he got a guy up top, and he drove into the lane, he got in there pretty good, and the shot looked nice coming out of his hand and everything, but it's short. And I'm like, look, I don't know if that's confidence. I don't know if that's the worrisome getting blocked. I don't know what it is. But he's got the tools. You can see it. It's about him putting it together. And that's why, if they don't trade him by tomorrow's deadline and they work with him throughout the offseason, keep an eye on Precious next year, because it could be really interesting to see the way he develops going into training camp and into the preseason next year. But for Precious, he had 7 boards. Him and Boucher combined for 12. I'll take that any day from our 2 big men off the bench. Great job from those guys. Now, team stats. 51% from the field from the Toronto Raptors. So that seems to be a theme as of late. Now, shooting the 3 a little bit worse than lately. But again, still 37% from three-point range, which ain't bad at all. And get this, 100% from the free throw line. If this team can do it on a consistent basis, maybe not 100%, but like a damn good percentage on a consistent basis, oh my God, it would take them a long way. 14 of 14 from the free throw line for the Raps in this game. All great stuff. And Pascal and Fred only got there 1 time combined. You got Gary Trent making, Gary made 4. Scotty made 6. Boucher made 3. All those guys perfect from the free throw line. So a great job from those guys. Now, OKC, and this is the defense for the Toronto Raptors, especially in the second half. 41% from the field from OKC. 30% from 3. Yeah, they were 86% from the line, but when those other two numbers are that bad, you can't expect to win. And the Raptors hold them under 100, so that's another key stat. Now, Raptors were -4 in the offensive glass. So as I mentioned, at one point, it was like 7-1 on the offensive glass. So Raptors really found a way to get it back into it. And I think they ended with 14. But considering they had 7 in the first quarter, tells you how much the Raptors zoned in and figured it out the rest of the game. Now, +1 in turnovers. They had one more turnover than the Raptors did. So see what I mean? We had 10 at half, and they really settled down. And I believe they ended with 16. So much, much better second half in that sense, and the Raptors just dominated the paint. You can credit that a lot to Pascal. He was incredible in the paint. I think the majority of his points were in the paint, but he just did a job against a team that can't guard him. The Raptors were +20 in the points in the paint. And the second chance points, again, off of those offensive boards, only -1. So a key stat there for the Toronto Raptors. Now, we all know the schedule looks a little softer than usual, but as we mentioned in the last video, you cannot take any team lightly, and the Raptors went out today. They did their job. No one got excited on the bench, high-five each other, off to the locker room. That's the professional mentality they learned from Kyle Lowry when he was here, him and Kawhi. Great stuff. Now, on to the next one, though. Tomorrow night, it's another late one. Well, late one. Later than usual. 8 p.m. tip-off in Houston against the Rockets. You just played the second worst team in the Western Conference. You are now about to play the worst team in the Western Conference. I don't care. And is Eric Gordon going to be a Toronto Raptor tomorrow? I don't know. Wouldn't that be? That's just something I really want. A bench guy who can shoot the 3 extremely well. Veteran dude. It would just be a great fit for the Raptors. They're looking for that backup guard situation as well. So that would be a great fit. But who knows what's going to happen? I might be talking to you guys earlier than I thought because trade deadline's tomorrow. So we'll see what happens for the Raptors. Are they going to stay packed and go with this team moving forward, or are they going to swing a deal? Are they actually going to move Dragic? We'll have to wait and see, though. But no matter what, I will talk to you guys tomorrow night anyways. Raptors in Houston taking on the Rockets, looking for win number 8 in a row. All right, so thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the game tonight. Oh my gosh. I screwed that one up. I almost ended up the video without a complete outro. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe, like button if you guys enjoyed this one. Hit the subscribe button if you guys are not already. Comment down below thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game, thoughts on my debacle here at the end. All that stuff. Comment down below. Twitter link is down below, so follow up, send me a DM, all that great stuff. The Instagram link is down below, so follow up there if you guys have not done so already. And I will talk to you guys Leafs edition tomorrow. I believe they are in Calgary taking on the Flames, 9 p.m. puck drop, so that stinks. But either way, Leafs play tomorrow. And the Raptors, as I mentioned, are in Houston taking on the Rockets. 8 p.m. tip-off there. See, that's more like it. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the game tonight. We'll talk to you guys then.